Hey everybody, it's Yelizaveta, and I am back with this week's edition of Yoga for Tango Dancers. Today, I want to share with you my three most important stretches that I do on a daily basis for the legs. Now, these stretches are useful if you find yourself sitting in a chair for long periods of time, or if you love walking and you go for long walks and afterwards you're looking to do a few things to relax your hips and your legs. So these three stretches are really helpful for those situations. All you're going to need for this is your chair, and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch our hamstrings, which are the muscles that connect your pelvis to your knee. So it runs the length of your back of the thigh. And what we're going to do is you're going to stand in front of the chair and place your right foot on the chair and flex your foot. Now, what is very important is that your standing leg, you want to make sure it's not locking, so you're going to keep the knee a little bit soft. To start, depending on your flexibility of your hamstrings, if you are a very active, athletic type of person or you don't stretch very much, these guys might be very tight. They might be kind of angry at you, so we want to ease into it. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the hips. And what I want you to do is you're going to begin to slightly lean forward with the intention of bringing your lower belly to your thigh. So this action is called hinging at the hips. So I am reaching my lower belly for my thigh, and at the same time I'm thinking about my pelvis untucking. So if I had a little tail here, I'm untucking that tail. So here I already feel some stretch. It depends on where you are in your body. To make it a little bit more intense, continue bringing your lower belly to your thigh as much as possible. The hands might come to your lower leg. Maybe they reach for the chair. But notice that I'm not thinking about my head going to my foot. I am actually still thinking about my spine and my chest reaching forward rather than diving down. So you want to work in this way so that you really target your hamstrings rather putting it all into the work of your back. Let's hold this for another 3 and 2 and 1. Bend your standing leg to come up and then release. Already feel the difference between the two legs. You might have a different sense of the weight of, or the texture of the leg. So those are good things to keep track of. Let's go ahead and go to the other side. Same thing, standing leg soft, hands on the hips, and then we hinge. Once again, my goal is to keep lengthening the spine forward while I'm lengthening my tailbone back. So there's an opposition here that we're working with. You will have a different sensation on this side. So I frequently say that we don't have one body, we have two, the right and the left. So the left side might be feeling a little bit more or less tight than the other side. So just be mindful of that. Go to your level. Hands can come to your lower leg or to the chair. Make sure you're breathing. If you get to a point where the stretch is so intense that you're starting to hold your breath a little bit, back up, because that's where the stretch is no longer going to be useful to your body because it's putting too much stress. Let's do another 3, 2, and 1. Bend the standing leg, come up, and release. All right, so that's our hamstrings. Now, second stretch that I'm going to show you is going to stretch the inner thighs, which is also part of the hamstrings. The hamstrings are a number of muscles that congregate to the back of the leg, and some go a little bit on the inner leg. So for this, what we're going to do is once again bring let's start with your left foot on the chair. So the left foot on the chair, knee is bent. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of facing straight ahead, I'm just slightly kind of angled out, and I'll show you in a different angle in just a moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coming in towards the chair. So I'm coming on the inside of this thigh here, and I start feeling this stretch on the inside. So continue to hold. I'm just going to show you from a different angle. I'm just going to point the chair a little bit differently so that you see the shape. So the knee is out, and I'm going on the inside of this bent knee. Now, you already probably are feeling this. A couple of pointers if you want to feel a little bit more. One is you can bend your standing leg and dip a little bit deeper into the stretch. Continue to breathe. Whew. You can kind of move it around and find some other areas that need a little loving. And then to come out, you can go ahead and come back up, straightening the standing leg. Check between both sides, and we'll do the other side. I'll go ahead and turn my chair so you can see me a little clearer. So once again, the setup, knee bent, and then as I'm going, I think about the belly meeting my thigh first. I'm not thinking about the head going towards my foot, because that's just going to bend my spine and I'm not really going to get into these muscles. So to get into them with precision, you want to hinge at the hips. That instruction is very common with any kind of hip opening, leg opening exercises. So once again, hands can come to the chair. And then you can play around with bending the standing leg a little bit more, so you go a little bit lower. You can shift your weight a little bit and move it around and feel what the other side of your body needs. Good. And then go ahead and come up. All right. So already just feel the difference in your legs, how they are responding to movement. We're going to finish with one of my favorites. This is going to have two variations. I'm going to show you the chair variation first, and then we're going to try the standing variation. So for the chair variation, you'll sit with your hips closer to the edge of the chair so that you feel your sit bones, those bony parts on the bottom of your pelvis are on the chair. And then what you're going to do is take your right ankle and place it onto your left knee. So I'm going to show you from this angle. So like this. Now, for some of you, this angle might look more like this. Okay? And so wherever you are in this range, your goal, your instruction here is going to be the same as for the other two poses. Think about tipping your pelvis forward and bringing your lower belly down towards your thighs. Again, my chest is reaching forward. I'm not rounding anything in my spine here. I'm kind of like going forward and up with my spine. So this right here will bring a degree of stretch into your outer hip, maybe some outer thigh, so you can decide how low you want to go. Let's hold this for another 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, switch sides, and we'll do the same thing. Again, you might feel that this is very different from the other side. Very common to notice those changes. Once again, take a breath in, and then we're going to go forward and breathe here into this side. Check out. You can bring a little bit of weight onto the leg if it doesn't bother your knee. This one's is really good to do after long hours of dancing, which I hope all of us will be experiencing soon. So it's good to have this one in your back pocket. Okay, come on up. Now, let's go ahead and come up. And I'm going to show you this version standing up. So if you don't have a chair handy, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, this variation gives you that experience. So you can have a chair just so that you feel a little bit balanced, and all you're going to do is you're going to bring, let's have your left leg on top of your right knee. So left ankle on top of the right knee. So I'm mirroring you here. So it's kind of a figure 4 position. And then I'm going to show you from the side angle here. Standing leg bends. So it's as if I'm going to sit back into a chair. And the lower I go, the more stretch I feel. So this gives you a little bit more access to the different areas of the hip. So you can hang out here for a few breaths. If I want to feel even more, I keep thinking of untucking my tailbone and reaching my chest forward. And then coming up. And let's do the other side. I would not recommend doing this if you have any kind of knee issues. So if you're going into the pose and you start feeling discomfort around the knee, you want to back up and adjust so that you're not straining the joint. All right, here we go. Last few moments here. Ooh, I'm definitely feeling this. And then go ahead and come out. Shake it out. Ah, how does it feel? I hope it feels as good for you as it does for me. So check out these 3 poses for your own practice. So see if you can put them in throughout the day, maybe after sitting for a long time, or if you want to try them after dancing, and let me know how it feels. I would love to hear from you. Stay in touch. Check out my brand new free Happy Tango Posture Guide filled with information that us tango dancers need to know when we get on the dance floor. You can find that link in the description. And I will see you next week. Bye.